This video is brought to you by the EA Creator Network. This video is not sponsored, however, I have gotten some of the packs for free, so thank you to the EA Creator Network for those free pack codes. Hey, JSimLady here, and I guess with the start of the school year, it's officially, unofficially fall, so I can do all my fall and spooky builds and be okay now? I hope so, because that's what I'm doing. So this house is your, I guess, quintessential colonial, or something similar to that anyways. It actually is a few different houses that I saw, like, mixed together, different elements from each house added to the same house, if that makes sense. And I love every part of it except that part right there that I'm working on right now. It looks fine in the end. It's just not the kind of style that I typically go for. So, I don't know, it looks a little funny to me. But maybe that's just me because it's not a style that I typically go for. I don't know. In real life, that side piece would be slightly bigger, and it would be a, what would it be? A garage. That's what it would be. But obviously in The Sims 4, there's no need for a garage. So I always turn the garage pieces either into giant living rooms, as I did, or movie rooms, I guess, as I did in my recent farm build, or I shrink them slightly and turn them into just, like, other rooms, extensions of other rooms, or whatever. The other thing is in real life, that dormer on that, like, fake garage, I think that's where the living room is at later. I could be wrong. Maybe it's not the living room. Yes, that is the living room. Anyways, the dormer above that living room, in real life, I think that would be connected to the upstairs, but the way The Sims works and the way the roofs work, I couldn't connect them. So instead, I just deleted the floor so that it's like a vaulted ceiling or a cathedral ceiling basically above the living room with a light up there. So like really high up in the ceiling light, so that at least it had a purpose and it wasn't just an empty box sitting on top of that room. But yes, now looking at it, I remember that that little side piece is the living room for sure. I mean, you can sort of tell based on the floor plan now, but for some reason, my brain just could not remember how I set this house up. I guess maybe because I actually built this house days before I'm doing the voiceovers, and I've done other stuff since then. I'm working on a magical build, which I'm really super excited for. So my brain was like, what's this one again? I can't believe I forgot though. Anyways, I'll be honest with you, with the chimney part, it looks better having a chimney sticking out on the side of the house, like that. But the chimney, like, if you were to leave it like that, it would be, okay, I guess. Maybe if I made it a little taller. But doing that so that there's a real chimney on the side of the building and then adding the like faux chimney pieces is, I don't know, it's annoying and weird to me. Is that weird that it's annoying and weird to me? And they don't really fit together real well either, so it makes it even more annoying. But I don't like sticking the chimneys just on the roof anymore either, because that feels unrealistic. So, I don't know. Do you guys like the chimneys on the side of the house, or are you okay with sticking the chimneys on the roof? Let me know down in the comments. Unfortunately, videos have been kind of slow lately. I did not know that enrolling a child in high school after 2 years of homeschooling was going to be so chaotic and involved, and I was not expecting the amount of work necessary for it. And this is coming from someone who had to generally put in quite a bit of work at the beginning of the school year all the time. Heck, all school year. I'm telling you, the public school system is not for the faint of heart, and it is not for people with disabilities. But like being isolated at home all the time is not it either. So it's a darned if you do and darned if you don't situation. But I don't know, maybe because it's been 2 years since we've had to worry about anything, it just got really overwhelming for a while there. And yeah, I couldn't focus on video games because my brain was just working overtime at everything else. Plus, we've had some medical stuff, both with humans and with pets lately. My Chihuahua has been very ornery and aggressive lately. She's been seen by the vet, and by all accounts, she's fairly healthy for her age. She has some dental problems, and she's gonna have to have another couple of teeth removed. I guess Chihuahuas are just prone to bad teeth, and on top of it, she only eats wet food for the most part because she wouldn't eat anything when we first got her except canned food. Like, that was all she was willing to eat. I don't know, maybe she was already having dental problems. And I mean, the food that she was being fed before was not exactly made for a Chihuahua. It was big dog food. And even now, when she does eat dry dog food, it's big dog dry food. So it's not exactly meant for a Chihuahua, and that can be really hard on their soft, tiny little teeth. So that could be why she goes through periods where all she'll eat is wet food. But the problem with only eating wet food, at least from what I've heard, is that it sticks in the teeth more and causes rotting and tooth decay faster. I don't know how true that is, so don't take that as actual legit, dog medical anything, because that's just what I've heard. It could possibly be not true at all. But likely with the damage done by the big dry dog food and chewing on rawhide bones for her tiny little soft Chihuahua teeth, and then on top of it only eating wet food, probably is what did her in. Because we just had her teeth cleaned 2 years ago, and they said they weren't terrible, but they weren't great. And then they said she wouldn't need her teeth cleaned for another 2 years. But then 2 years later, she had to have 5 teeth removed. And there are 2 more that should be removed. Anyways, the point is, she hasn't been feeling well. She hasn't been doing super great. She's been kind of unwell-ish. And on top of it, and you're gonna hate me for this, and look, I know this is bad, all of my pets have always been fixed. She's the only one I've ever had who has not been fixed. And the problem was, I knew she was unwell for a while, and I was afraid to get her fixed because I knew she was unwell, and she has some breathing issues. So I was terrified to get her fixed because that's a big surgery, and it's a surgery, so we haven't done it yet. So it could be her teeth, and it could be because she's unfixed. But she's getting older, and she's been incredibly aggressive lately, and she keeps trying to, I guess, protect me. That's what Chihuahuas do. They protect their chosen human from anything and everything. Well, we also have a Boston Terrier, And the Boston Terrier at that is overweight. So the Boston Terrier is about 3 times the size of the Chihuahua. And the Boston Terrier is such a gentle giant. She will either just put her paw up as if to say, talk to the hand because the face ain't listening, or she will put her paw on the Chihuahua and just hold her there. But she will not actually fight back. The problem with Rainy is, and that's the Boston Terrier, her name is Rainy, and Piper is the Chihuahua. The problem with Rainy is her claws, for some reason, come to a really sharp point. No matter how much you grind them down, they're an incredibly sharp point. So Piper keeps getting hurt by accident. Not like Rainy is trying to attack her or anything. She's putting her paw up saying, stop being mean to me, Piper. And Piper will not back off. And so then Piper gets hurt. Up until recently, it's just been tiny little scratches. But recently, she got a really deep, huge gouge in her arm. So, yeah. Now I have to keep the Chihuahua in a plate pen or in a separate room so that they are not fighting, because I'm afraid that my Boston Terrier, Rainy, is going to get tired of it and kill her. Because she is 3 times Piper's size, and that's scary. So now I have to keep them completely separated from each other as much as possible, and certainly when I'm not there watching over them to break them up. So yeah, I've been dealing with a little bit of a lot lately. So videos are a little bit slower. Plus I've been trying to make bigger builds too. So that's taking me a little longer too. So back to the house. Now, I know that older houses, especially like colonials and four squares, let me think, Victorians do. Victorians have a front room, or is it a hallway with a parlor and a living room on each side? I cannot remember my architecture anymore, but I know four squares. I know colonials, they have like front rooms, entry rooms, the room at the front of the house. It's not really a hallway, but it's an entry room. I don't know, honestly, what they would have been used for back in the old days when the houses were built. And I don't know if they have ever had those kind of rooms on the back of the house for like, oh, maybe it would be a den if it was on the back of the house. I'm not sure. But anyways, the point is, I didn't know what to do with this little room right here that you're seeing on the screen right now. So I just put a little mini office area in there. I had that extra space. I needed to turn it into a room or the downstairs would look funny. And so I just added like little office stuff to it. Eventually, I also add a toy box for the kids. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the most important part of this build, other than it being autumn inspired, is that it's an 8-sim house. Can you believe it? 8 Sims can fit in this house. There is a long bedroom over to the side there where 3 children, teens, whatever, can fit. This room here is the parents' room, and in a minute here, you'll see me add a bassinet for a newborn. You can also fit in a crib right there for an infant. And then the room next to the parents' room, the smallest kind of-ish room, is for the grandparents. It's not really the smallest, but it's like the smallest square room, whereas the kids is a rectangle room, and so it's longer, but not as wide. Does that make sense? You'll see in a minute. Anyways, altogether, you can in fact fit 8 Sims in this house, and they can sleep and play and work comfortably. They cannot all sit together in the dining room, though. That's the only bad part. I did not put enough spaces down there for everyone. I didn't make the dining room big enough. But to be honest with you, in The Sims 4, rarely do you ever get the entire family sitting down together anyways. Like, you can try all you want, but it's just not gonna happen. So this is the kids' room, and I kind of decorated it in sections. Like, this is the little kids section, and it's got the cute little sheepy blankets and stuff. And then this is the teenager section. The teenager section is like white woods and makeup and cutesy and all that kind of stuff. And then the little kids section is darker woods, but then everything also is kind of green because I'm really enjoying green, I guess, lately. I don't know. I honestly have no idea why I suddenly started gravitating towards green for interior decorating, but that just seems to be what's happening lately. Green and like reds and oranges. Maybe it has something to do with the changing of the seasons. I don't know. But that's what I'm liking lately. So that's what I did. Yes, that tree is massive, but it's a big hallway and I just needed something big to fill it up with. I'm sorry. It's the first thing I could think of that was big and would fill up the empty space in the hallway. And then this is the grandparents' room. I mean, you could also turn it into another kid's bedroom if you wanted. I just thought it would be cool to have a multi-generational family home. It just feels so cozy, autumn, start of school time, to have a multi-generational household where the grandparents are helping out with the grandkids, especially while the parents are at work or whatever. I don't know, it just had cozy vibes to me, and so it felt very fall, which also strangely feels cozy, which is weird when you think about it. There is a little storage closet there because we went heavy on the autumn holiday seasonal obviously type stuff, so we had to include the decorating boxes from the Seasons expansion pack. This, by the way, is not a limited pack-a-build because this is part of the save file. I loved this house so much when I got it done that I had to have it as part of the save file. In the save file, I'll remove the very extremely fall things like the fall wreath on the door and like any other fall decorations. Like, I'll turn those shrubs there green instead of red. What else? I can't think of anything else right offhand, but I'll take away, the little decorations inside on the tables. Maybe I'll just replace them with regular flowers or something. The ones with the candles on the TV stand and the fireplace mantle and the table and that kind of stuff. I'll just replace them with something not fall specific, I guess. But yeah, you get the idea. Anyways, we're just about to the end of the actual speed build portion, so we can get into the walkthrough. Just finishing up with the backyard here. And I was kind of starting to go in one direction, but then I went in a totally different sort of ish direction in the end, with my idea for what I was gonna do back there. And yes, the back porch stays empty. I didn't know what to put there. I feel like just putting a grill and a table or a couch and chairs there is just so, like, I've done it so many times. I'm bored with it. I need to think of something else to put on back decks now, because I just feel like I've done everything that there is to do on back decks and it's boring now. Also, I hate building paths this way. It's so annoying. It looks good, but it's so annoying to get it just perfect and looking good. It's worth it in the end, but it's so annoying to do it. and get it right. So we have a little swing set here for the kids, a fire pit for s'mores, some more foliage, I guess, and that's pretty close to it. Oh, I think I fix a couple of other things. I do the terrain painting, and then I put the roof decoration chimney, because those actually give off smoke, I believe. I mean, I could be remembering wrong, but I think they actually give off smoke. So I put the roof object decoration thing in that fake chimney, and I do a little terrain painting around. And then that's it. And then we're done with the speed build, and we can go to the walkthrough now. Okay, so here is the front yard. Nothing too fancy or anything. Little sitting area on the porch. A little bit of autumn decoration. You walk in and you have the, I don't know what you call it, like entryway, hallway type thing. Little, I don't know, like keys and phone area, mirror, hanging your coats and stuff. Right to the side of that, we have the downstairs half a bathroom, no shower or bathtub, but a toilet and a sink, which is plenty good enough. There are radiators and or fireplaces in every room. It is an autumn winter build. You want to keep your Sims nice and warm. Here is the living room. I made sure to include lots of autumn, fall, whatever decorations. And then I have the seasons wreath there just to put a little decoration in the stair area. We have the dining room for the grandparents. Let me see if I can get a little closer there. Not for the grandparents. What? We have the dining room for the family with a rocking chair area for the grandparents. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, and through here we have the kitchen, your basic kitchen. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We have a little room back here. I'm not sure, like, if this would be a real room or what it would typically be used for. If it is a real room, I just put a desk and a computer and the toy box back here so that the kids had some toys. We've got the back, a deck. But the main features are the, what's that called? Fire pit and s'mores, a swing set for the kids, and a small garden area for the parents. Let's go upstairs, zoom out a little bit. Nothing too fancy in the hallway like usual, just a hallway for passing through. We've got three people in this room, the two parents and a newborn. I made it nice and dark and cozy and very, very, very fall. Lots of deep red and brown earthy tones. We're a little zoomed in, sorry. Let me back out a little bit there. Nice deep earthy tones here. If we go over here, we have the grandparents' room, so that makes 5 Sims. The grandparents with their dentures on the table there, and lots of family photos on the wall. Again, a big emphasis on the reds, like the fall red color, but a little bit of other like earthy tones as well. Then we have a room for 3 children. That should be 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. I don't know why I went with green for this one. I think I have a thing for green lately. Maybe because summer is coming to an end, and I know pretty soon we're not going to see a lot of green where I live anymore. So I want to cover everything in green while I can. But yeah, we've got 2 bunk beds for children and then a single bed for a teenager. I've kind of set it up, this half of the room for the kids, this half of the room sort of for the teenager. But there is plenty of space in here for all 3 kids. So we got 8 Sims in this house. That's pretty awesome. And then another bathroom decorated almost identical in like style and stuff to the downstairs bathroom. I thought, why would you mess with a good thing, right? So I left it with those colors. It's still like deep in autumn and like red, deep red, but with a little bright sunshiny yellow as well. Then just a storage, wrong button, sorry. Just a storage room, mainly to have the decorative box there so that your Sims could decorate for the holidays. And I believe that's everything. Oh yeah, there is like I don't know what you'd call this thing, but the roof wasn't big enough, so I couldn't attach it to anything. In real life, that probably would be attached right under the roof with like a crawl space type of thing, but you can't really do that in The Sims, and then it would be like a little attic storage area. I just made it a vaulted cathedral ceiling area with a light in it. So yeah, this house was based partially on real floor plans, and then also several other houses that I saw, like from Bloxburg and The Sims 4. I took little bits and pieces of a whole bunch of different places, and I kind of combined them together in this. I hope you enjoyed this very fall, very cozy house. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!